competency for the medical aseptic hand wash. So the first thing I want to do is make sure that I have all of my jewelry removed, any rings, watches, etc., so that they're not going to get in the way. I want to make sure I have paper towels readily accessible, that they're so not one of those machines where you have to pump it down, that the paper towels are ready. Okay, I want to make sure my clothes don't touch the sink, that I stay back, and I'm going to start by turning on the water and adjusting the water to an appropriate temperature. Okay, my water is good, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start wetting my hands, starting at the wrist and going downward without touching anything else in the sink. Okay, so hands downward, my hands are wet. Now I'm going to soap up and I'm going to scrub for a full 30 seconds. So keeping my hands in a downward position, I'm going to scrub, interlacing my fingers. I'm going to scrub each and every one of my fingers, keeping my fingertips down and my wrists up. And I need to do this for a full 30 seconds minimum. At least 30, no more than 45. So I want to get under those fingernails. I want to do each of my fingers. Again, always keeping them in a downward angle, not touching anything else. So my hands are nice and clean. Again, back and forth. Dissolve them. So I'm right at my 30 seconds now. So now what I want to do is I want to rinse my hands, and I'm going to start at the wrist going towards the fingertips. And I cannot backtrack, okay? So, can't touch the sink, I can't touch the faucet. So I'm gonna start at the wrist and let the water slide down to my fingertips. I can go ahead and do a second rinse if I need to. Getting the soap off, again, keeping my hands in a downward position. Getting all that soap off, and I can't go back forward through the water. I have to continue at the wrist and keep going forward, okay? So I have my hands rinsed. Now I'm gonna do a second scrub, and this time I'm gonna scrub for a full minute, and I'm gonna include my wrists. So same thing, I'm gonna scrub each of my fingers, and this is a full 1 minute scrub. Keeping my hands down. The idea here, the theory is that the germs are dripping off. We don't want the germs to come back. Okay, and this time I'm going to go all the way up to my wrists and make sure I scrub my wrists as well. Okay, so keep scrubbing, get under those fingernails, make sure you do each and every one of your fingers. Seems like a long time. Make sure your clothes or nothing else touches. Areas nice and clean. Getting close to my 1 minute. Again, kind of keeping my hands downward. Okay, so I'm right at my 1 minute, so I want to go ahead and rinse. And again, now I'm going to start above my wrist just a little bit. Let that soap drip down to my fingertips. Never backtracking. You can rinse 3 or 4 times, however many times it takes to get all of the soap off. Keeping this hand down while I rinse my other hand. One more time should do it. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to get a paper towel and I'm going to blot my hand dry. Blot, blot, never going back upward. So I can't come down and then go back up, because again, the theory is we are taking the germs from the top and going downward. Okay, now I'm going to do the other hand. We're not going to rub, we're not going to scrub. We need to blot that hand dry. Make sure I don't touch the trash receptacle. And that I got my hands nice and completely dry. And then my hands are good and dry now. I'm gonna take a fresh paper towel and I'm gonna turn the water off so that I don't contaminate my freshly washed hands. And the last step is now I'm gonna put lotion on to keep my hands from becoming excoriated, meaning dry and cracked, especially during the winter time. So lotion on, and that's it for the medical aseptic hand wash.